Today on Behind These Shades, meet female superhero / artist, Corinne. She's an artist, poet, and community activist. She allows us access into her world. Growing up in an abusive household, Corinne says now she's bold enough to tell it all. She reveals to us about the personal demons she had to face. And then, she allows our cameras to see her most top secret treasured artwork. We're the first to see it right here on Behind These Shades.
Corinne!
First of all, Corinne, thank you. Oh, is it Corinne?
Corinne.
Corinne, you know what? Corinne. Okay. Thank you so much for, first of all, doing this for us, okay? Because you artists, you all are so private. Like, you're hard to get in there, okay? So first of all, we're just so happy that Corinne found it herself to allow us into her world today. Corinne, do you look like this every morning?
Well, the thing is, today, since I know that we were going to actually be doing some type of documentary, you know, documenting, I did want to make sure that I show myself. You know, because I like everything that I'm wearing is actually somewhat handmade by me. This shirt was actually printed by me. This is my design.
Wow.
Yeah. So last year I got together with another group of artists. They had a t-shirt printing company.
Yes.
I designed it by hand on this little sketch. And then literally we were up for hours printing out these t-shirts on a machine.
Get a close-up of this t-shirt.
I wanted to make sure that I really share what people, you know, Afrofuturism is actually kind of a term that people, different artists use, different musicians use. But you know what I mean, it's to just show kind of like we know our heritage and we also move forward beyond. Like we go into, because there's a lot of musicians like Sun Ra, he was a black jazz musician.
Okay. And
his whole style was just space. It was all about taking it out to the galaxy.
Well, today we're going to go out to space, but before we go out to space, we're going to go back into your childhood.
Okay.
Okay?
Awesome.
Are you going to talk to us?
Yeah, I'm going to talk to you and share, you know, my world with you guys.
Perfect. Growing up in the poorest parts of Miami, Corinne Stevie knew from a very early age that art was her calling. Corinne recounts even as a child drawing for her classmates and even then knowing that her art made people feel very happy.
I just want to feel the sun and I just want to engage with what's going on in my neighborhood. So the calmness of this path to me, I don't know, it does something for me and I can think. And normally when I come out and walk, there's nobody outside. So I just get to be with myself just walking this quiet path.
Wow. Though she made others feel happy, Corinne's childhood proved far from. Her home, best described as broken, suffering from mixed feelings and the instability that came from living with a father who was quite an alcoholic. Desire and somewhat like, your life hasn't always been like that. No. You kind of openly kind of talk about your childhood not being so pleasant. What made your childhood not be what you would have desired it to be?
Well, I think, you know, just being a child, you don't understand everything, but one thing that I do now that I'm older is what I understood is energy. And, you know, just like in certain households, mommy and daddy don't always get along. You know, they might get together and have kids, but then sometimes something happens and then it's like, we can't stand each other anymore. So that type of energy that I got as a child, just sometimes hearing them argue, I felt it, you know, and I didn't realize that until now, because that's why,
Would you say your father was an alcoholic?
Yes, he was. I mean, and that's, just to even say that to me, I feel like it's just kind of like my generalized perspective or understanding of what that was.
Does that make you uncomfortable to say?
Well, no, because I think that's the reality. It really, based on living with him and experiencing him in that way, it influenced my art a lot. Because I find myself, when I was older, I always wanted to use bottle caps and paint on beer bottles and different stuff like that, kind of reflecting on that situation. Yeah. So I understand now, yeah, that was a part of growing up. Like I saw him, glimpses of him, and I saw how I made my mom really upset. So that's why I think that's why it affected me.
Art has always been Corinne's safe haven. She's a painter of feelings, both happy and sad. Corinne says her paintings are a deeper form of art, filled with unspoken feelings and hidden emotions. my God. Corinne, are those horses?
Yes, they are.
Oh my God.
And I'm wondering where, because normally the ponies are out here too.
Oh my God. You know, if someone doesn't have a friend, they can come here and find a friend. These are amazing. Look at the horses.
They are beautiful.
Wow. This is breathtaking. You know, I would be inspired if I came here too.
Yeah, I want to paint. I want to sit down and just...
Corinne escapes to this enchanted forest to meditate and to get inspiration. Her visits can span from a few minutes to some days she sits for hours. She considers this place to be a spiritual place. Wow. This is such. She allows our cameras to see her most top secret treasured artwork. Friends, the birds. Oh my God, they came to watch the show. They came to watch our show. Hi, birds. Corinne, this is really like a little piece of heaven right here in North Miami.
Yeah, I'm happy that it's here. I'm glad that we discovered it when we did a couple months ago.
Yeah. What do you feel when you come here?
I just feel more connected.
Art has always been Corinne's safe haven. She's a painter of feelings, both happy and sad. Corinne says her paintings are a deeper form of art, filled with unspoken feelings and hidden emotions. Simple things. You know, you have a lot of African influence, it seems like, in your just lifestyle as well as your art. Why so much Africa?
I think that, you know, when I studied in school and I studied anthropology and seeing the African peoples, I saw myself, you know, directly. I'm like, oh yeah, that girl looks like me. You know what I mean? Her hair is kind of different, but it's still a representation of me, you know. And when you connect like that, I think that when you make those connections, you get a sense of yourself a little bit more. That, hey, we're not new. You know, we're not new people. We're the same people that existed. We're just in another place and time.
Wow.
You know?
Well, I guess you sure enough got a piece of Africa here. The sun is out, the animals are out. This is beauty. Well, talk to me a little bit about this painting, this very special painting that you brought to show to us today. It's really beautiful. I don't understand. It seems as if you haven't finished it.
That's an interesting interpretation. Well, first of all, I got this piece of wood, and I wanted to leave the wood showing. I don't know, I wanted to work with wood because wood is from, you know, it's nature, it's a natural thing. And I wanted to keep that showing just to kind of like, I guess, I don't know, to add to what I'm trying to say. The naturalness, I love that. I love the brown, and you know, trees, they naturally have a certain way that they are. Even when you cut them in the inside, you can see their rings and stuff like that. But I wanted to leave that showing. Now the rest of the painting, it kind of just something that developed over time. Like every day I'll realize what it is that I'm doing. This painting has not really been planned all the way.
Does it have a name?
It has a word in it, but it doesn't even have a title yet.
Wow.
It has a word in it.
What's the word?
Grow. And so that's what initially inspired the piece.
Grow. Yeah. Grow, because there's examples. You could bring it a little closer.
When you look in, that's a G, right?
Wow.
It's the letter R. That's the O, and that's the W. So when
isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? Grow. Corinne, this happens to be like one of my favorite paintings. Wow. It really is. When I saw it today, I almost like literally, I was just heart-struck. I love this painting. Wow. Does this painting have a name?
Well, yes. It's actually called Joyful Jessica.
Joyful Jessica.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And you told me a little story that this painting was actually another painting at one point.
Yes. Well, it was another painting when I got the canvas.
Okay.
But this same painting, I had painted it, and I actually was going through a rough time, and I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna paint over this painting.
Wow.
But what ended up happening is I ended up painting the same painting again.
What so, does that explain the texture?
Yeah, but the texture, you know, is intentional. It's to show the difference between the skin texture and the hair texture.
Wow.
You know, because we have.
Who's Jessica?
Jessica's actually a good friend of mine. She's also an artist, and I did this piece because at the time I understood that she was going through a rough time, so I figured, why not do a painting to cheer her up? And this painting kind of reflects how I imagine her being happy.
Wow.
You know, being happy and being in joy. And to me, blowing bubbles symbolizes just like using your breath to do something that is almost playful, you know, when you blow bubbles.
I've noticed that usually inside of some of your art, you use a mixture of, let's say, there's a lot of African culture here, and which would kind of be the old, and then something as common and commercial as blowing bubbles is what we see in the painting. Would you say that those energies are within yourself? Is that you, a mixture of, let's say, the old principles as well as those things that are commercial?
Definitely. I mean, you know, again, just being human beings, like our DNA is as old as the things that exist, like a tree. You know what I mean? This DNA is something that just kind of, as each person is born, they still have this old ancient DNA.
Wow.
Human DNA.
Appreciate the old and embrace the new.
Yes.
I love this. I love this.
Thank you. Awesome.
Yeah, I feel just so much more connected, let's say, with nature. And I can kind of see where you get that peace thing that you have, that serenity.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said before, just disconnecting and tapping out of the everyday busy life and taking the time to just go to a park, or really, yeah, go to a park. You know what I mean? Get some sun and just be. It helps. It's just refreshing. You know, sometimes it's okay to disconnect from the matrix. You know, and
disconnect from the matrix. I remember that. Disconnect from the matrix. This is beautiful. So beautiful.
But yeah, and just realize there's a whole nother world outside of the everyday human routines that we do.
Wow. So great here. I almost don't want to leave. I'm gonna move in with the horses.
Yes.